I'm here at Norcott Circle where 2 people have been shot. According to the Greenville Police Department, both people were shot in the leg and they have been transported. The Greenville Police Department told me that a man has been arrested and is now in custody. The scene is now clear. Before you walk into the main hall at A.H. Bangert Elementary, be sure to grab a coat and a scarf, because they've turned their main hallway into a winter wonderland. Penelope is a Haisu cat, a high-speed catamaran. She's one of 2 with Harbor Towns, and Tuesday was the first time she took passengers on the water. I'm standing inside one of the cells at the Lenoir County Jail. When I spoke to the sheriff, he says this is the first time media has been allowed to tour. Since it's been built, the only eyes who have seen the walls are inmates and those who work here. Kinston is one step closer to having social districts. This means you could grab a drink at a participating bar or restaurant and then walk out the door and head out to another participating business. The rain is coming down, the wind is picking up. If you listen, you might be able to hear the wind whistle. This is Hexlina Road in Aulander. It's where Deshaun Boone was raised. It's where he died. It's where he's buried. But it's also where he's remembered. His mom, grandparents, aunts, cousins, and family live on Hexlina Road. With them, Deshaun's legacy lives on.
He was a family-oriented person. Deshaun loved his family. And he had a smile that would light up the room.
Kwashima helped raise Deshaun.
I miss him so much. I really do, because I'm looking for him to walk through the back door. And in reality, I know he's not.
His cousin, Janiyah, says Deshaun was like a brother.
Deshaun has a daughter, and like I have a son now, so it's like you have to teach them memories of their dad and just let her know who her dad was, and it's just something that we gonna always keep his name alive, because if it was one of us, he would do the same thing.
On March 13th, the Bertie County Sheriff's Office says Deshaun was killed outside of his own home on Hexlina Road. On March 26th, the office says they took 1 suspect into custody for the murder, 21-year-old Javen Amarion Askew of Windsor. Sheriff Ruffin says it's a sad situation. Askew has been charged with murder, and the Bertie County Sheriff's Office confirms he was taken to the Bertie Martin Regional Jail with no bond.
Right now, this case is still under investigation, and we have not identified the direct motive yet. My heart goes out to Mr. Boone's family, and not only to Mr. Boone's family, but to the suspect family, Mr. Askew, because he's only 21. And have a long life ahead of him.
Deshaun's family says nothing will bring him back.
Nothing can make it right, because you can't bring him back. You took something that you couldn't give, and that was life.
But justice, it's still possible.
Please put these guns down. They are taking lives, and it's unnecessariness. We have our young people dying in the street for what?
In Aulander, Sarah Gray Barr, 9 on your side. Courtney, tonight's town hall meeting in Chocowinity was so packed that people actually had to enter and exit the building in waves just to have everyone heard in the public comment session. People are concerned for a couple different reasons. Cuts could be coming to the EMS budget. That means several people could lose their jobs. One of the community's 2 ambulances could also be gone. Look, this is last year's budget for the EMS in Chocowinity. It's around $1.6 million. And this is the proposed budget for tonight, around $960,000. That's a difference of more than $500,000. But the people who live there say those dollars are the price tag of many lives in Chocowinity and beyond. Many in Chocowinity and neighboring areas depend on the town of Chocowinity's EMS, both 911 for emergencies and transport for non-emergencies. Louise Buffalo depends on Chocowinity's transportation services to get her handicapped daughter to her doctor's appointments. Louise is one of many who spoke at tonight's meeting.
Oh, laugh, I heard it. It's not funny. That is my child, and I'm here for each and every one of these people that need it.
Chocowinity EMS personnel are also worried. They say the jobs of at least 5 people are at stake and the well-being of the community.
Right now, you can get a truck here in 2 minutes. If we have 1 truck and that truck has to respond to Aurora, because those trucks that's at Aurora are responding to somebody that has an emergency, and we go and respond mutual aid there. We are now 30 to 45 minutes away from our town.
Lee says getting rid of EMS transport could cost lives.
If anybody is out there who cares, please hear us out. Please see us, all of these people. See how important this is. Understand, without EMS, those mortality rates will raise exponentially high.
At the meeting, Police Chief and Acting Budgeting Officer Ralph Whitehurst explained that earlier in the year he was asked by commissioners to construct a budget dividing EMS into two different departments, 911 and Transport Services. It was a decision made by the Board of Town Commissioners to dissolve EMS transport business.
After the board elected to dissolve the transport business by vote, a subsequent budget just for the E911 truck was submitted. In
the meeting, the mayor asked the board to consider reinstating transport services. Commissioner William Albritton says he's for the transport. He said the board wanted to split EMS 911 and transport to get a better idea of how money was being used. He added the town was not supposed to be using Beaufort County tax dollars to fund transport, and that the split was needed.
It was supposed to generate enough money not only to pay for itself, but pay for the second truck for the 911 because of the number of calls. And never, ever happened. Ever, as you can see.
One resident may have put it best. There's no dollar amount on human life.
I understand there's budgets. I understand there are costs. But is it worth somebody's life? You put a dollar amount on that, and you need to figure out where to get this money from.
At the end of the meeting, the commissioners decided to move forward with the public hearing. They scheduled it for June 18th. When I talked to the town attorney and the town clerk, they told me the budget must be approved by June 30th. We'll continue to follow this story on air and online at WNCT.com. In studio, Sarah Gray Barr, 9 on your side. I'm an Army brat. I know what it's like to pack up your whole life every couple of years and move to a new place. I felt that sadness when my dad left for deployment and that special joy upon his return. There are experiences you can only get if your parent is in the military, so I know all too well how middle schooler Christopher Whitfield felt today when his mom returned from a 10-month deployment. There are more than 1.6 million kids with parents in the military. That number comes from the Defense Department. West Craven Middle School 7th grader Christopher Whitfield is one of them. He hasn't seen his mom since June. On Friday, Christopher's mom, Army Sergeant Trinity Whitfield, worked with Craven County Schools to surprise Christopher on her return to the States. What do you think are going to be the first words out of your baby's mouth when they see you?
He's probably going to say, Mama.
Christopher says he was surprised.
Oh my God, it's my mom. I knew she was coming home soon, but I didn't know which day.
Trinity says she knows this deployment has been hard on Christopher.
Being away. Yeah, Christmas was very hard because I wasn't able to like personalize gifts. I had to like order, and his father had to do everything that was personalized.
Trinity has been away before for missions, but never a deployment.
Being separated from their parents I know it has to be hard because it's hard for me being away from my babies.
That's where Craven County Schools say they step in.
As we know that this can be a difficult time away from their families, but we make sure that they understand, that they know that we are their family away from their family.
As for advice for other military kids,
just wait, because they will come home eventually.
The month of April celebrates the military child and their lived experiences. It's important to tell stories like Christopher's to let them know that they're remembered and their sacrifices are valued. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to share this special reunion, and I hope to share stories like this one for years to come. In New Bern, Sarah Gray Barr, 9 on your side.